This is that time for Mr. Tat. That stands for my response to a tweet. That's my response to a tweet. And today's Mr. Tat's tweet is, how did America get so out of control to where I want to give up? How did America get so out of control to where I want to give up? Wow, that's a good one. Good question. But here's my response to your tweet. It's because we left America to these liberals, Democrats, and progressives. And we left them inside of America unsupervised by conservatism. Let me say that one more time. We left the liberals and progressives and the Democrats in this room called America unsupervised by conservative principles. Look at it like this. Imagine this room. There's a room, right? And it's a blank slate. The room is all white. The room has 20-foot ceilings in it. And inside of this room, there's only a chair and a stack of 500 sheets of paper and a box of crayons that never break and never wear out. A box of 64 crayons that never break and never wear out. Inside this room, we place an irresponsible child. Yes, we're going to call them irresponsible because they've demonstrated that they're irresponsible. This might even be somewhat of like a detention situation. But we place in this room an irresponsible child. And then we give them these crayons and we give them this stack of paper and we give them these instructions. You can color on the paper, but you cannot leave outside the paper. You can only color on the paper. Stay inside the lines of the paper. Then we ask this child, do they understand? Don't forget they're irresponsible, and so they answer us. Yes, I understand clearly. We even ask them to repeat back the instructions. And they tell us, we can color on the paper as long as we stay in the lines. Do not color off of the paper. And we say, good. Matter of fact, let's even have them put their hand on a Bible and swear to take the oath that they're going to stay on this paper. And they do it. And then we leave the room. And then just when we're about to close the door, the child says, hey, but can I, Mom, I did it? And we say, nope, what's the rules? Stay on the paper. Are you sure? Because what about it? Because that don't seem fair. Hey, my rules. Stay on the paper. Got it? Yes. Boom. We leave. We close the door. And then we come back 50 years later. And then we see colors all over the room. I mean, there's colors everywhere. There's 498 sheets of white paper, but there's color everywhere. They didn't even have a ladder, and they had 20-foot ceilings, and there's color on the roof. There's colors on the ceiling. And we're wondering, how did you get up there? You're the only one in the room with a chair. See, what has happened to America is similar to that room. We had rules and regulations that kept us in the confines of America and Americans' principles and America's promise. That irresponsible child is that liberal. The reason why we call them irresponsible because we have seen what liberalism has done in other places. We have seen what progressivism has done, and these Democrats are the ones who embody liberal principles and progressive stuff. So they're irresponsible when it comes to countries and interaction with people. So they're that irresponsible kid that we have left in America with the colors and this and that and the paper and the instructions. We made them put their hand on the Bible and swear an oath to protect and defend America, but they're liberals. They are against what really America stands for, and you can tell because look at how irresponsible they were with other things in history, other places. Look at Europe. Look at Greece. We see what an entitlement society that liberals, that's their utopia. Why? Because they're slave owners and they can't wait to have a whole group of people under their feet, under their control. They've demonstrated this already. They're the irresponsible kid that we left in America for the last 50 years with no conservative, basically, supervision. And then when we walked out, we did the number one mistake that you can ever do with a liberal. We compromised with them. In the sake of our conservative and our Jesus loving and our understanding, we compromised with them. We let a little bit of liberalism get in, and it has tainted everything that America stands for. And then we left the room. And then now here we are, 2015, with god awful colors everywhere. How did the gay people get up there on the ceiling? We got gay from the head, from the foot all the way to, how did homosexuality go so high up in America with Judeo-Christian principles? Because you compromised with a liberal. There was a place for gay people to be here in America, but we had to supervise them with conservative principles so that they don't get out of control. Now it's so out of control, it seems like saying Jesus is the sin. We've compromised with the liberal. And now America has all this stuff going on, and it's seeming hopeless. But I'm here to tell you it's not hopeless. We just got to make some hard decisions and not be caring about how somebody feels. We have conservatism, and that will get it. We got to put conservatism back in the room. We got to start scrubbing America's floors and walls and ceilings with conservatism and stop compromising with these liberals. The African American community, they've been living under these liberal orthodoxies for 50 years, and look at where they're at. They're tired. They got all the colors, they got all the stuff, but they don't have the American prosperity. They don't have the American promise. Why? Because liberalism does not provide that for you. The people that are in control of these liberals, the slave masters, they're the ones that's prospering, while the slaves, the community, is the one that's being stood on. Liberalism is not working, and black folks are seeing it now. The liberals, yes, the gay people got what they want. But guess what? Liberals, that's not enough. Now they're going to bring in terrorists. They're going to bring in people, Islam, and they're going to bring them people in here. Guess what? They can't stand gays. They kill gays. So gays, their chicken is going to come home to roost too. Why? Because you supported liberalism and you wasn't satisfied with where you can function under the safety of conservatism. And now the liberals are going to bring in the people that's going to kill you. They're going to bring in the people that's going to kill you. Conservatism, you were safe under conservatism. And we got to get back to that. Blacks, gays, I'm telling you, Hispanics, you got to take conservatism. You're here now. You got to take conservatism, because the liberalism will put you in the same situation where blacks are and where homosexuals are. Because liberalism, only the hierarchy in liberalism cares. Everybody else is just their slaves. Everybody else is just their subjects. They think they know more what's best for you and have never walked a day in your shoes. So, does America seem hopeless? Yes, it does. But I'm here to inspire you and let you know conservatism. Once conservatism can understand that it's not creative enough and it has to adopt creativity, conservatism, it's the cat's out of the bag now. You cannot be straight up and down, and you cannot be behind these politicians who's just straight up and down. You got to bring in creativity, and we can get America back to the promise that it's supposed to be. Hey, I'm Phil Williams, and that's my response to this tweet on the Phil Williams Show.